Matthew Hyman, a former lawyer at the Justice Department's National Security Division, who's now a fellow at George Mason University. Great to see you today. I want to start off with what is in bounds for this hearing on Wednesday with regard to Gina Haspel's confirmation.
Well, I think they should be focusing on her credentials. I think they should focus on her 30-plus year tenure, the senior posts she's held throughout the CIA, the fact that she's been decorated many times by various presidents. That should be the meat of what the discussion is this week when it comes to her candidacy to be the director of the CIA.
You know, Matthew, there are questions about the black sites and interrogation, and those same questions came up for John Brennan, who was fourth in command. So how should Wednesday look any different than it looked for him? Take us back.
I don't think it should look any different than it did for him, and I don't think the outcome should be any different than it was for him. Obviously, he was confirmed. I believe he received 66 votes in favor of his confirmation. And that, to me, is the shame of this process, is we've got Gina Haspel, who is lower in the ranks than John Brennan was at the time of these programs, and she's been held to a higher standard, which to me seems very odd, especially given her incredible career, her experience in dealing with Russia, her experience in dealing with terrorism. That's exactly the kind of person we need at the CIA today.
So just to revisit with John Brennan's case, he was asked about this, though, correct?
Yes, he was asked about it.
And so you would anticipate that Gina Haspel would be asked about this and that she would have readily, to-go answers, I would imagine. I
would expect so.
Okay. And, just moving ahead with Gina Haspel, and you're talking about her credentials and all of that, do you think it's kind of understandable, Matthew, why people are backing out of this process? I mean, this is tough. We've seen a lot of people, we've got reports that she considered withdrawing. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it speaks to the hyper-partisan environment we're in, where partisanship and political point scoring seem to come far ahead of facts and what's best for the country and finding qualified people to take up these posts. And I think that's a shame because obviously we need our best and brightest at these highest levels. Gina Haspel's an example of that. And I think the fact that she, at least according to the reports, gave some thought to stepping back from this process is reflective of her humility, her desire to ensure that the CIA is not a political football, to ensure that the CIA can have an effective leader. And so I think it's a shame that we're going through this process. I think it's shameful that she's having to endure this process. I'm hopeful that enough senators will come to their senses and recognize what an asset she can be to the country. And as your clip showed with General Hayden, the former director of both the CIA and the NSA, she's a person that's all about facts and data. And that's exactly the kind of advice we want our president to get.
The president says that she's tough on terror and that it's disingenuous, I'm paraphrasing him now, for Democrats to push against that. Does Gina Haspel get confirmed on Wednesday?
I think she ultimately does. I'm confident that she will get the confirmation. As I said, though, I think it's a shame that she's got to go through this process to get there when she is so eminently qualified.
All right. Matthew Hyman, former attorney for the DOJ's National Security Division, we appreciate your perspective and expertise today. Thank you.
Thank you.